Hi, welcome back to my channel, and on this video we are going to talk about regrets and ways that you can minimize regrets. Nobody wants to be singing the I wish I knew kind of song, you know, where you're always asking yourself, what if I did A instead of B? What if I did B instead of A? Nobody wants to be in that situation. Regrets aren't fun, and watching this video does not mean you're going to live a perfect life. You're going to always make perfect decisions. However, it is going to help you live with or manage the consequences of your actions. So that is one way that you can minimize regrets. If you are able to live with the consequences of your actions, that just means that you already thought of your actions before taking them. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So you probably don't care, but I am an overthinker. I overthink each and every situation. I always assume the worst in any situation, and if I feel that I can handle the worst situation possible, in that situation, then I might as well go ahead and do whatever it is that I want to do. Probably that friend that you don't want to have in the group when you're planning a wild and crazy day or crazy night, or you're planning on doing something crazy. Man, I'm just scared. I would rather be safe than sorry. Not to say that I don't do crazy things or I don't go wild or anything, but I always make sure that I can handle whatever would be expected in that situation. I make sure that I can live with that, and that is what I'm going to help you with in this video. I understand that sometimes you cannot really expect what might come in that situation. That is different. If you really if that was unexpected, if the consequence was something that you could have never thought of, that's okay. But sometimes certain actions, you really know that these actions are likely going to lead to this, and you go ahead hoping that that consequences does not for you. I feel like, on my part, I think that that is being naive. If you know that a certain action is going to lead to a certain consequence, and you just assume that for whatever reason you are going to be an exception and that thing is not going to happen for you, I mean, come on. The number one way to minimize regrets is weighing the advantages and disadvantages of an action. You have to think. Not every action you're going to be weighing and doing that, but like most of the important decisions, most of the important actions, something that is really big that you're planning on doing, you really have to weigh, regardless of how fun it is. You have to weigh the advantages and disadvantages of this situation. And if you find that the disadvantages are much more than the advantages, and I believe that it is just worth dropping it. Just don't do it. It's safe that way. You can do it on another day, another time, or a different way, or with a different person. If you think that there is a high chance of regretting your actions, the best thing is just weighing before you actually do anything, and just making sure that you can handle whatever is going to come next. Now, I've said that with this video, that does not mean that you're going to be making perfect decisions. Nobody's gonna ever be able to be making perfect decisions that you end up not having a wrong one. But then sometimes we choose to do things regardless of how or what the consequences might be. So if you decide to go with an action, be prepared. Be prepared to handle whatever the consequences might be. For example, if you decide to have unprotected sex, I'm just gonna use that. I'm sorry, that's what came on top of my mind. If you decide to go with and have unprotected sex, it's your choice. It's totally fine. But then you have to be aware of what is the consequences of that. You have to weigh that. Oh, there is a chance that I might get STDs. There's a chance that I might be pregnant. There's a chance that I might get HIV. whichever the chances might be, right? There's a chance that I might get attached to that person. So if you know that after doing it, in case you end up pregnant, you're going to be able to raise that child, or you're going to be able to handle abortion, whichever your choice is going to be at that time. I'm not making a choice for anybody or limiting the choices that you might make afterwards. Or if you know you're going to handle living with STDs or going under treatment and all that kind of thing, then by all means go ahead and do it. But make sure that you are actually aware of what the consequences might be, and you have strategies in place to make sure that you cross that bridge perfectly. There's no way you're gonna say that, I'm gonna do it, it's just once, I might not. No, that is the kind of mentality, the kind of thinking that I don't want you to be going into an action with, thinking that for whatever reason you might be an exception. No, go in there willingly and able to face any consequences that might come after you make that decision. If you know you can't handle a certain consequence, one or any of the consequences that might come after that, then just don't do it. You're not going to die. Another way is giving the action everything that you got. Give it your all, all your energy, all your effort, anything. If you are trying to pass an exam, if you are trying to get something, if you are trying to achieve something, it's something that you don't want to miss, by all means, then give it all your best. Understand? Giving it all your best does not mean that action is going to be 100% successful. However, even if it ends up not working, there are little chances that you might regret anything, regret not passing that exam, regret not getting that job. Because why? Because you gave it your all. You did your best. You did everything that you could have done on your best day with your best effort. So that way, if you didn't get the cut, if you didn't get the job, you're going to know that it was just not meant for you, not because you actually didn't prepare enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to an exam, you expected to get 100%, and you did all your readings, you did your studying, you did everything that you could have done to prepare, and you end up not really getting a good result. At least you're going to know that, maybe the exam was just so hard or anything. You're not really going to regret. You're not going to be sitting there and be like, I wish I studied really hard, I wish I didn't do this instead of this. That is just like one way, giving everything that you go to the action, doing it with everything that you have, putting your best effort in there is one way that you're never going to be like, oh, I wish I did this, because you probably already did. So you're going to be like, well, it just wasn't meant to be, just maybe not my time, and you're going to move on. Another way is try to be in the moment. Most of the times we are stuck in the past, stuck in the things that we didn't get, stuck in the things that didn't work, always looking back instead of being in the present and looking forward to the future. Sometimes when you're looking the past, it's just because those things really were not meant to be us anyways at that time. But if you focus on the present, you are going to be applying your effort, everything that you have in the present, to just make sure that you actually achieve whatever it is that you're trying to get to, instead of being in the past. You're always living in the regret. You are always regretting things that didn't go well, things that you did wrong, probably when you didn't really know better. So you can't really be beating up yourself on things that happened when you didn't know better. Now you know better. It's time to actually fix from where you are. It's time to start working towards whatever you want to see, whatever the changes that you want to see, so that when it reaches next month or next year, you're not going to be thinking about this day or this month. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to take your eyes off the past and just be in the present, enjoy the present, make actions that you're actually going to be proud of in the future. Another way is just to hold your thought. The moment you think of doing something, hold your thoughts and ask yourself, who is this action for? Who are you doing this for? Whatever the action may be, who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for the people you love? Are you just doing it for the people that probably doesn't even care about you? Are you just doing it for random people, random strangers that there's really not any value that is going to be added onto you when you take that action? So sometimes we usually do things that are not even for us, are not even for the people that we care about. You're doing things maybe because you saw something on Instagram, you saw it on like Facebook, for or somebody that you don't even like, the person that doesn't even like you did it, and you're trying to like compete with those people that are actually not even in your life. You know what I'm saying? But see, hold your thoughts and imagine what that action is going to benefit for you. What is this going to help me? Am I doing this for the people that I love? Is this action going to be worth? Is it going to cost me my peace of mind, my happiness? And if it is costing you your happiness, you probably shouldn't be doing it, regardless of who it is for. And I know most of the times we go above and beyond for the people that we love, and that is totally fine. That is totally like amazing. That the people that sacrifice for us, and it just makes sense and just like nice to do something for them as well. But if you're doing something to impress people that don't even know you exist, to impress people that don't even like you, to impress people that you don't even care about, like, man, just come on. Let's do things for yourself. Hold your thought and ask, who are you doing this for? Who is this action going to benefit? Sometimes we just have to owe it to ourselves and just do things even if nobody sees. You're doing things for yourself because they are adding a certain value to your life, and probably that's the route that you want to take. So next time, hold your thoughts. Imagine who you're doing the action for. And lastly, think and think. It doesn't hurt. I know probably it's easy for me to say because I'm an overthinker. I'm constantly overthinking, and sometimes I overthink on things that really doesn't matter, and sometimes I also try to work on that and find that and see, always like be on the positive side. Some people call me that I'm negative and negative minded. I'm always like thinking of the worst, but man, sometimes you just have to be realistic. Some people are so optimistic, and that they actually ignore the obvious, and for me that is just being naive. There's really a fine line between being optimistic and being naive, and there is a fine line between being negative and being realistic. So I actually consider myself to be more realistic than actually negative, because if something is really good, if something is worth a shot, I'm not going to sit here and be like, but this might happen, but this might happen. Some things are just worth going in. That's where it comes into be able to live with the consequences. If you give something your all, if you weigh the consequences and you are okay with whatever outcome may be, if you weigh the advantages and disadvantages and you realize that it's actually better to actually go with it, and it ends up not working out, that is okay, because not everything is going to be perfect, you understand? But at least you're not going to sit there and be like, I wish I didn't do it, I wish I did it this instead of that. There's no room for that, you understand? So that doesn't mean that you're not going to make bad decisions, you're not going to fail, you're not going to do something that is not impactful, but at the end of the day you're not going to regret it. It's going to be bad, it's going to fail, but you're not going to regret it. You're going to take it as a learning moment, you're going to take it as part of your experience, and that's all that matters. That's what we want to learn. We don't want to be making obvious mistakes that could have been avoided. So I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if that's the case, don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing if you are kind enough, and see you in the next video. Bye.